Okay, so the one thing I hate the most, probably next to left right cheesers, is I hate people who hide behind their stats. They feel like they have to drop X amount of points in order for them to be good. And if nobody else can fill that void for them, or if they're not operating at a quote unquote efficient level like they are, then they're trash. Right? So let me go into detail. Now, this game that I played here, I'm not gonna lie to you, ladies and gentlemen, this is quite probably the most game, the worst, not the most game, the worst game I've ever played with randoms. Now, these three guys, they all have Goddard in their names, right? So I don't really care nothing about that, right? As long as you know how to play team ball, do whatever you do, what you got to do. So the thing is with this here, this is a guy who left rights, which I already hated that. Like, I already was frowning upon him off that already, off rip, because that shit is corny. There's nothing good about that. So you got that, and then you turn around and you got this man literally having no vision up the court, besides in transition. You know what I'm saying? And then the same as that time, he's one of those ones where he has to drop 40 plus points in order for them to feel validated at them having quote unquote skill at the game. When really you just left, right, and hide behind screens. You got a big man who was garbage. He can't hold a candlelight to my big man, regardless of the overall. I think he was like an 88 or 86, 87 or something like that. But as a big man, you still have to have some kind of idea as to what you're supposed to be doing. Big men, listen up and listen well. You're not only good for just setting screens. Don't let nobody put you in this box where you're supposed to just get screen. You're supposed to set screens for your man and all this other. Stop doing that. Okay, because for one thing's for damn sure, that's not going to fly in the rec, for damn sure, because you need spacing. Anybody who needs screens, make sure you call it out before it even gets to that point, because honestly, we need space for the floor. Not every game that's going to work, so please plan accordingly. Big man, you have to understand, get down there. If you set a screen, cool, but roll. You know what I'm saying? If you're a shooter, pop out. But other than that, there's other things to do aside from you just setting screens and just being in everybody's way. Now, back to this guy again. So the problem I had with him was, not only was he shooting us out of the game, but me and the point guard barely got any touches. I had 10 points, 3 from 5. That was maybe 1 from 2. Y'all see the stat line at some point. But the thing about this guy was, I was getting my buckets off, so it wasn't like I was missing at will. I'm 3 for 5. That's a decent field goal percentage. You know what I mean? I could have had more than that if he swung the ball like he was supposed to. Now, I'll shoot him a small bit of bail that in transition, whenever the ball was to be thrown up the court, he had a guy up there sitting in the corner that was wide open and he shot his 3, cool, that went in, green light, whatever. But the problem is there were times where he had turnovers where he missed either me or the point guard, or he just wanted to just take a shot because he's known to quote unquote make it over these guys because of his abilities and badges and all the other stuff. I want y'all to understand something, bro. Like, it's not always going to be about you dropping 40 plus points. You know what I'm saying? Now, at the end of the game, I guess they had to be all in the party or whatever. So I get on the game chat, and I guess he jumped in because he saw my mic moving. And I tell him, like, yo, bro, like, I don't care the fact that you got 35 something points, bro. Like, that don't mean nothing. Like, you shot us out of the game. He was like 9 for 20 beyond, either 9 for 20 beyond the 3, or he was below like 50%, maybe 40%. He was below average, bro. And it was bad because there were times he took bad shots. Like, there'd be 3 guys in his face and he'll shoot it over him, knowing the fact that his big man can't even get the ball. So we're having to pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Now, my 3 for 5, my 3 baskets were good. The other 2 just had to be ones where it was either rotten luck or either just I mistimed it. And that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to have mistimed shots as long as they're good looks and you know that person's a shooter. Keep kicking it to them. They don't catch the stride in a minute, but make sure you got somebody down there playing cleanup, because it's not always about making every shot. It's not always about getting every green light. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So back to the guy taking up for his boy. And he was like, nah, he really liked that. He scored 40 points a game, but just wasn't knocked down like that. I was like, bro, like, that's cool and all, but you still shot us out of the game. Like, your man still shot us out of the game, bro. Like, it don't matter. He didn't score 40 points this game. He almost had 40. Almost don't count, my G. Like, we lost this game because your man decided to shoot us out of the game, and your big man was trash. You had your other man over shooting his threes, but at the same as that time, you just shut out me and the point guard, and we're known scorers. You know what I'm saying? We know between us that we can score, but you didn't give us enough times, excuse me, to be able to score. So, excuse me, hey, I need some water. Anyway, so, you know, we weren't given enough chances to be able to get a bucket in, you know what I mean? But I had 10 points. I forgot what the point guard had. So, of course, you know, these were kids. Of course, they were kids. So, you know, he taking them for his man or whatever. And to me, it was corny because, like, why is that a measuring tool about how good you are at 2K? You know what I'm saying? If I'm not mistaken, 2K has more than one stat line. Points isn't the only thing that matters. You gotta have defense. You gotta have playmaking. You gotta have somewhat basketball intelligence. You know what I mean? Not Steph Curry intelligence where you can gauge how much space you have to take this shot. No, we're not talking about that. And that leads to the next point. I hate the fact that Steph Curry, I love Steph Curry, but I hate him at the same time. I love him because he changed the game, but at the same time, I hate him because he changed the game. He got guys walking around here thinking that now because if you can shoot threes, you can make them at a high level, you can be just as great. But it's like, fam, there's more to the game than just that. And you got guys like so doing what they're doing here.
Killing me with the screen, Smalls. Why are we throwing that bullshit, bro? Come on. Is you playing Roblox? Quit walking over the mine.
You know what I mean? So you know, eventually they ended up going back in there or whatever. So I ended up sending a message, and then the guy was bragging about getting a point guard banned or suspended from PlayStation because he said something to him in a message, which was really petty and very malicious. Because, you know, most of the time, what person do you know that's going to just immediately just go report somebody for saying something inappropriate inside of a message? That's some petty shit. You know what I mean? That's very petty and very malicious. So I already wasn't feeling him for that. Then he talking about after that, I was like, yeah, that's kind of whack. I don't feel you for that. He's like, well, oh well, GG's, you got carried. You didn't do nothing. And I hate that fucking phrase. I hate get carried. You got carried. Motherfucker, you didn't do shit. If we look at his stat line, bro, let's take a look at his stat line for a second. This man literally, and I'm talking about literally, had 8 assists. There's 4 quarters inside of I was about to cuss. Inside of a basketball game. That means he only averaged 2 assists per quarter. 2 assists per quarter. Most people that I play with that know how to swing the ball, when I tell you this, and I can't make this up, I wish I took a screenshot of this. Most point guards I know have at least 12 assists or higher. If everybody's firing all cylinders. Me, myself, as a big man, I'm kicking it out. Everybody's getting fed. But when it got to a point where he just started just feeding the guys, his men only in possession, you know what I mean, whenever it's transitional offense or whatever it was, when he started shutting me and the point guard out, it was like, all right, well, you know, he kept missing. It's like, we open, we're constantly moving around. My men couldn't keep up with me. You know what I mean? But he kept missing me because he wanted to left, right, take the screen, left, right. It's so corny. You guys are so corny to me, bro. And I'm telling you right now, if I ever put a pro-am team together, none of you players who play like that would ever be on my team. I don't care what your stat line says. If you can't play team ball, I don't want you on my team, bro. And that doesn't mean that, oh, you just hate me because you ain't got the same amount of points as me. It's like, no, I'm not hating on you for the simple fact of that, but for the simple fact you can't play team ball. 8 assists, 2 points per quarter. 2 assists per quarter. Come on, man. Come on, yo. Come on, man. You got to have something a little better than that, man. For real. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think this happened like 2 or 3 nights ago. It's still kind of fresh in my mind. But stuff like this really gets to my nerves. I can't stand it. I hate it so much. And I hate the fact that people hide behind their stats and say just because they can drop 30 or 40 per game, oh yeah, I'm valid. And it's like, fam, you have turnovers. Your man dropping buckets on you. Like, come on, man. Like you're not valid, bro. Like you're not. You're just not. And anybody who says, oh, you just a hater because X, Y, and Z, then you completely are missing the point. You are one of those players who I'm talking about. Don't jump in my comments on that dumb shit talking about how, oh, you just mad because you couldn't do this, you can make your shots. Go look at the stat line. I did what I was supposed to do. Unfortunately, I just couldn't get the ball fed to me like that, and I'm not a ball hog. So you can shut up with all of that. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below, man. Appreciate a lot of support y'all showing the videos, man. Most definitely. And make sure to like button, comment, subscribe, share the word, spread the links, because you know how I do. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. It's your boy Jay Devon, and I'm signing out. Peace.